We are Group 8, and this is our presentation of the Mini Project 2. The topic that we choose is Topic 3, the CTU Career Center app. And this is the agenda of our presentation. In order to facilitate our final year students to find a graduate job, a mobile application is designed to let them find some suitable jobs from the Career Center of CTU. They can search the jobs by different categories such as finance, information technology, education, or etc. Moreover, users can save the search jobs in the application. Besides, the information of the recruitment talk held in CTU will be shown in the application. As a result, our final year students can get more useful information and find suitable jobs for themselves through this application. Another research, we found that more than 90% of the mobile users are using the smartphone with Android and iOS platforms. Therefore, the application was developed on these two main platforms. There are three prerequisites for the Android development. Firstly, Eclipse or NetBeans is needed for the Android development. Developers may need to perform coding in either one of these two development environments. Secondly, Android SDK is needed for any Android development. And third, if Eclipse is going to be chosen for the development, ADT plugin is necessary. There are also three prerequisites for the iOS development. First, a Mac computer is needed for the iOS development unless a virtual machine is created in the computer to pretend a Mac computer. Second, developers may need to perform coding in their development environments called Xcode. And lastly, iOS SDK is needed for any iOS development. For the user group, there are two groups of users. One is with IT background and the other one is not. Mary is an example of Group 1. She is a final year student who studies marketing at City University of Hong Kong. Although she does not have IT study background, she uses her iPhone 5S every day. Mary always uses this app to search for jobs in financial field. John is the example of Group 2. He is studying computer science at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and it is his final semester. He's looking for an IT-related job. He's mastering the mobile phone and using Samsung Galaxy S4. He knows how to use this app, although he seldom uses it. There are mainly 7 representative tasks in the app. And firstly, log in and load the user profile. Secondly, search jobs by categories. And thirdly, bookmark specific jobs. Fourth, enable or disable the jobs alert function of the jobs bookmarked. And then, delete the jobs bookmarked by users. And the last one is the logout. Here comes to some screen of the app. The first one is login. Second is the main page, and there are 4 buttons in the page. And there are 2 buttons in the setting page. Also, when we click the category search, we can see the page of category search. And if we click on the recruitment talk button, then we can see a recruitment talk timetable on the recruitment talk page. There are 7 pages in total, and they are sign-in page, main page, recruitment talk calendar, category search, job saved, and the setting page. The page flow is mentioned in the interaction design part. In this application, icons are widely used to reduce the use of text. Icons used are designed meaningfully. We divided the icons used into 4 types. The first type is resemblance. Resemblance icon displays the underlying concept through another's image. And this is the icon that we design using resemblance. In this icon, the image describes that students are throwing up their mortarboard representing they are graduating, and there is also a student holding briefcase means he is getting a job. The image displays the concept that students are graduating and finding jobs. The second type is exemplar. Exemplar icons represents a typical example of a class of objects. This is the first icon that we design under using exemplar. In this icon, image of a bed and a set of tableware are shown. They are typical examples of items used in hospitality industry like hotel. The icon displays the idea of a job category. Hospitality. Then, this icon also belongs to the second type, exemplar. In this icon, image of a stock chart is shown. It is a typical example of item used in finance industry, like bank. The icon displays the ideas of a job category, finance. This also is the icons that we design under using exemplar. In this icon, image of a computer is shown. They are typical examples of items used in IT industry, like programming firm. The icon displays the ideas of a job category, IT. And this is the last icon that we design under using exemplar. In this icon, images of books are shown. They are typical examples of items used in education industry, like secondary school. The icon displays the ideas of a job category, education. The third type is symbolic. Symbolic icon is used to convert an underlying reference that is at a higher level of abstraction than the image. This is the first icon that we design using symbolic. In this icon, a magnifier displays the idea that it is used to search something, and in this case, it displays the ideas of job category search. It is at a high level of abstraction. And for this icon, it also belongs to the third type, the symbolic. A floppy disk displays the idea that is used to save something, and in this case, it displays the idea of job saved by user. It is at a high level of abstraction too. And this is the icon that we also design by using symbolic. A calendar displays the idea that it is used to show the date, and in this case, it displays the idea of showing the date of recruitment talk to be held. And lastly, this is the last icon that we design using symbolic. In this icon, you can see there is a speaker displays the idea of sound notification, and in this case, it displays the idea of setting notification alert. It is also at a higher level of abstraction too. The last type is arbitrary. An arbitrary image must be learned. The image does not have direct or indirect concept related to the meaning represented. For this icon, it belongs to arbitrary. The image does not have any direct or indirect concept related to setting. Therefore, users must learn the icon first, otherwise they will fail to get its meaning that is setting. And for this icon is also using arbitrary. The image of this icon also does not have any concept related to logout. Therefore, users also need to learn the icon first, otherwise they will be failed to get its meaning too. And for this icon, the image does not have any direct or indirect concept related to bookmark a drop to. Therefore, just like the above these two ones, users need to learn the icon first, otherwise they cannot get its meaning that is bookmark. And this is the last one we decide under using the arbitrary. In this icon, the image does not have direct or indirect concept related to cancel bookmark drop. Therefore, users also need to learn this icon too, otherwise they cannot get its meaning. Then, we move to talk about the screen designs. There are total 6 screens. In the login page, students can enter their student EID and password to access this app for finding jobs. For the top of the border, there is a logo of CTU Career Center in the middle. It lets users easily read the representation of the logo. In this page, we use the principle of fill-in form. For the middle border, there are 2 rows of the fields, in order to let users to type in their student EID and password in different fields. For the bottom border, there is a login button which lets users to click it to enter the next page. After accessing in the login page, main menu will be shown. There are 4 buttons accompanying icons with names. In this page, we use symmetry and balance. The design of the main menu provides symmetry and balance through the use of blue spacing between the 4 buttons. It can easily let users distinguish the 4 buttons in a simple layout. Also, it uses the affordance of the Norman principles. According to the theories, affordance refers to the perceived and actual properties of the things, primarily those fundamental properties that determine just how the thing could possibly be used. And in our page, the buttons afford users to push in order to get into the right page. If clicking the category search button, the category search page will be shown. The top of the border is the title of the page with an icon starting in the left corner. Another border is the different job categories, such as finance, education, and IT. Accompanying with icons in the left corner, it can let users easily understand the meaning of the icon with the help of the job names. It is a simple layout for users to read and follow. In this page, we use the visibility of the Norman principles. The sliding bar is visible in the right-hand margin. We also use the affordance. The sliding bar affords for sliding up and down to look for job categories. Physical constraint also used in this page. The sliding bar is only up and down. It cannot slide further up or down until the end is reached. And lastly, mapping also used in this page. The upper arrow is mapped with sliding up the screen. Then the display will go up. Vice versa, the down arrow is mapped with sliding down the screen. Then the display will go down. The mapping of the sliding bar is good because the relationship between control and action are apparent to the users. If clicking the Recommend Talk button, the Recommend Talk page will be shown. The top of the border is the title of the page with an icon starting in the left corner. Another border is the calendar, which shows the detail of the Recommend Talk to be held. Also, there is a sliding bar in the right-hand margin, which applies the same normal principle in the above. For the screen test, in each cell of the calendar table, the name of the company, the time, and the venue are shown in 3 rows separately. In the middle of the cell, it can let users easily to identify the detail of the Recommend Talk. The font size of the details are the same but smaller than the date because the message of the detail should be brief and concise. For the use of color, the background color of the calendar is white. In each cell of the calendar table, it may contain several events on the same day. Therefore, there is a yellow highlight for each event. It can let users easily distinguish the number of highlighted Recommend Talk on the same day. If clicking the Job Saved button, the Job Saved page will be shown. The top of the border is the title of the page with an icon starting in the left corner. Another border shows the details of the job saved in this screen. In each saved job of the column, there is a delete icon in the bottom right corner. Also, there is a sliding bar in the right-hand margin, which applies the same normal principle in the above. In this page, we also use symmetry and balance. The Job Saved page provides symmetry and balance through the use of blue space. A rectangular column contains one job saved. It can let users easily identify the job they saved. For the use of color of the icon, red is used for delete icon to represent negative. If clicking Setting button, the Setting page will be shown. The top of the border is the title of the page with an icon starting in the left corner. Another border shows 2 rows of table, which are Logout and Job Alert. In this page, we also use row buttons. If the Logout button is pressed, the Logout screen will pop up. The system crash should be minimized. The smartphone should respond immediately to a user's input. The protection is against catastrophic results. We also use the feedback of normal principle. The pop-up logout screen can ask users against whether they are sure to log out. If yes, the confirm button is pressed. Otherwise, the cancel button is pressed. This can allow users to continue with their activities. And lastly, we also use affordance in this page. The switching bar allows for switching right or left to turn on or off the alert. And to conclude, this app can let CTU final year students to find a job more easily. Moreover, The mobile phone must be in platform Android or iOS. Using Windows Phone or BlackBerry cannot be supported by our app. For the constraint on design and product, the meaningful icon may not be guessed by some users. The labels under the icons are therefore added in order to indicate the exact meaning of the icons. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you.